Hi folks, Mark Holger here. Today you can listen to an article that I came across in the well-respected Guardian newspaper. Here are the links. Try to just listen first without looking at the words. Don't worry about unknown words, just try to understand the gist of the story. There's a vocabulary section later. And lastly, I'm going to do the first reading in a straight voice. Well, as much as I can without laughing. Then in the second reading, I will change my voice tone. This is so that you can think about what kind of tone of voice each sentence should have. Should it be high at the beginning or at the end? Should a word or phrase be emphasized with the voice? How and where can we show that someone is surprised or curious? Just using the voice. Name: keratopigmentation. Age: first described in AD 150, but not in a way that would tempt you. Appearance: your choice. What are we talking about here? Corneal tattooing. Tattooing your cornea, as in your eye, that's it. How do you tattoo an eyeball? In the 2nd century, the physician Galen of Pergamum developed a method of cauterizing the cornea with a heated probe and then applying a dye made from pomegranate bark. But that's not how they do it now. How do they do it now? Procedures vary, but it generally involves making a donut-shaped incision in the cornea with either a laser or a needle before injecting dye. Who on earth would want that done to them? Keratopigmentation is often performed to correct a cosmetic disfigurement, corneal clouding, say, caused by disease or injury. Occasionally it's deployed to improve the vision of a damaged iris. Sounds reasonable. Increasingly, however, people are resorting to keratopigmentation just to change the color of their eyes. For fun, to improve their appearance and boost their confidence, let's say. Can they make them any color they want? Within reason, but punters are usually changing their eyes from brown to something else: blue, green, grey, taupe, honey, sand. How much does it cost? It depends, but for both eyes, don't expect much change from £10,000. Any potential side effects? A few according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, including infection, inflammation, light sensitivity, leakage of the dye into the eye, and vision loss. Let me weigh that up for a second. The true risk is unknown, since no long-term studies have been done on keratopigmentation surgery performed on previously healthy eyeballs. I see. And for that reason, the procedure is not available for cosmetic purposes in the UK. Any other downsides worth mentioning? It's irreversible, but also prone to fading over time. And if the testimonial photos on some surgeons' websites are anything to go by, it makes you look like a replicant. How come? The procedure doesn't change the color of the iris, it just dyes the clear cornea that covers it, so the effect is eerily unnatural. Why would anyone think this is a good idea? Because a lot of TikTok influencers are getting it done and recommending it. People are undergoing unnecessary eye surgery because people on social media did it. Of course, people ate laundry detergent because people on social media did it. That was years ago. I thought we'd got smarter since then. I've seen the only evidence to the contrary. Do say, don't it make my brown eyes blue? Don't say, it's to die for. Thank God for that. Now I can start using my natural voice. That was really hard to do, to speak in just one kind of voice. Hopefully you could hear me make mistakes and add emphasis or say it in a normal way in different places. Here's the vocabulary list. For today's vocabulary list, I'm including only some of the underlined words in the article. The reason for this is that a lot of the words are medical words. Also, some are easier to understand via an explanation rather than reading a definition and example. When we do the second reading, I'll explain more. Now, for the second reading. Eye tattooing. Name? Keratopigmentation. Age? First described in AD 150. Sometimes you may see CE for Common Era 150. AD refers to Anno Domini, but people think of this as after death, meaning after the death of Jesus Christ. First described in AD 150, but not in a way that would tempt you. Appearance? Your choice. What are we talking about here? Corneal tattooing. Tattooing your cornea, as in your eye? Yep, that's it. So here the phrase as in is like, do you mean the eye? How do you tattoo an eyeball? In the 2nd century, the physician Galen of Pergamum developed a method of cauterizing the cornea with a heated probe and then applying a dye made from pomegranate bark, but that's not how they do it now. So cauterizing is a medical process. Part of your skin or flesh is heated to avoid bleeding or infection. Actually, I have had this done to me by my dentist. When he was doing a treatment on my teeth, my gum was bleeding a lot and it was causing problems. So to stop the bleeding, he got a very hot iron and he burnt the gum, which stopped it from bleeding. Also, I forgot to mention this word dye, D-Y-E. So dye is a form of paint. Actually, I'll add it to the vocabulary section now. How do they do it now? Procedures vary, but it generally involves making a donut-shaped incision in the cornea with either a laser or a needle before injecting dye. So this basically means they make a cut into the top surface of your eye and then they basically pour a colored liquid in there. So it doesn't actually go inside your eye. Who on earth would want that done to them? Keratopigmentation is often performed to correct a cosmetic disfigurement, corneal clouding, say, caused by disease or injury. Occasionally it's deployed to improve the vision of a damaged iris. So a disfigurement is where your face or some part of your body doesn't look like it normally should. So say, for example, if you had a surgery and there is a scar on your arm or leg, this could be called a disfigurement because it's not normal. Cosmetic is connected to the word cosmetics, which are things that we use to improve the way we look, for example, lipstick or makeup. So you might hear cosmetic surgery. So this is not surgery that will put an arm back onto your body or fix a broken leg. This is the kind of surgery that's just done to make changes, to make you look better. The word deployed here could mean it's used. Sounds reasonable. We use this phrase in English to mean, okay, I can understand that. It's logical. Increasingly, however, people are resorting to keratopigmentation just to change the color of their eyes. People are using. We can use using here again. Often we use the verb resort to indicate that we don't have another choice about how to do something. So an example here would be, how else could you change the color of your eyes? There really aren't very many options. So basically, this is the only option we have. For fun? To improve their appearance and boost their confidence, let's say. Can they make them any color they want? Within reason, but punters are usually changing their eyes from brown to something else. Blue, green, grey, taupe, honey or sand. How much does it cost? It depends, but for both eyes, don't expect much change from £10,000. Do you know the meaning of the word change when we talk about money? So say you bought an ice cream and it costs $1.50. You give the seller $2 and he gives you 50 cents. The 50 cents is the change. It's the money left over. So in this example, don't expect much change from £10,000 means that the price will be very close to £10,000. So maybe it will be £9,900. So here, the example, in this example, you would receive £100 change. It's meant to just mean that something's very expensive. Any potential side effects? A few, according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, including infection, inflammation, light sensitivity, leakage of the dye into the eye, and vision loss. I actually have a slight light sensitivity, so I really like to wear sunglasses when I'm outside. Let me weigh that up for a second. The true risk is unknown, since no long-term studies have been done on keratopigmentation surgery performed on previously healthy eyeballs. Previously here means before, so before the operation. So what does this mean? I'll let you think for a couple of seconds. What this sentence means is that long-term studies have only been done on eyes that were tattooed where before they were tattooed there was a problem. The eyes maybe looked strange and didn't look normal, so there was a disfiguration. So they haven't done any studies on eyes that were perfect to start with and the patient only wanted to just change the color. I see. And for that reason, the procedure is not available for cosmetic purposes in the UK. We talked about this before, just to make you look more normal perhaps, to help boost people's confidence. Any other downsides worth mentioning? A downside is like a negative. You can use the opposite for positives, upsides. It's irreversible, but also prone to fading over time. And if the testimonial photos on some surgeons' websites are anything to go by, it makes you look like a replicant. Irreversible means it cannot be changed, so it's permanent. Then the article says, prone to or tends to or can fade over time. There are many testimonials on the internet these days. You see them when you look up, for example, a restaurant and it maybe has a 4-star rating and there are comments saying, oh, this restaurant has fantastic food. That comment is a testimonial. So here, the testimonials are photos, and they're photos that show probably what your eye looks before and after the surgery. Testimonials are designed to encourage you to use the service, or, for example, go to a restaurant. To be honest, I'm not sure how to explain anything to go by, but I think I'll say it's like, if you can believe the testimonials. I should actually just make a quick comment about the word replicant. Interestingly, The dictionary I use doesn't know the word replicant, but we have a verb replicate, which means to copy. So here we have the idea that this girl or woman is actually sort of a human being, maybe, but probably a copy. So she's probably a robot. So when people have their eye color changed, it makes them look unreal, not human. How come? How come is simply another way to ask why. The procedure doesn't change the color of the iris. It just dyes the clear cornea that covers it. So the effect is eerily unnatural. Why would anyone think this is a good idea? Because a lot of TikTok influencers are getting it done and recommending it. People are undergoing unnecessary eye surgery because people on social media did it. Undergoing means having a process done. This word is almost exclusively used for surgery, undergoing surgery. Of course, people ate laundry detergent because people on social media did it. That was years ago. I thought we got smarter since then. I've seen only evidence to the contrary. Evidence synonym might be proof, contrary might be the opposite. So here the person is saying, actually, there's no evidence that we're getting smarter. In fact, I've only seen proof that we are becoming more stupid. Do say, don't it make my brown eyes blue. This is kind of a joke because there is a song that you can hear. Look up on YouTube, don't it make my brown eyes blue, and you can hear the song. Don't say, it's to die for. This is also a joke. When you have a look at the definition of to die for in the vocabulary section, you will understand. Okay, so now it's your turn to play. Here are some questions that you can think about, and you can put answers in the comments section of the video. What do you think about this kind of tattooing? Would you ever it done to your eyes? Why? Why not? Do you know someone who has a standard tattoo? Why did they get this tattoo? How about someone with an eye tattoo? So this means how about means do you know someone who has an eye tattoo? What do you know about indigenous, native or local people and tattooing? What other kinds of body art are there? Don't say. Do say. Don't make it. First described in AD 150, but not in. So cauterizing is like burning something. How can I describe it? So cauterizing is something that is done. It's a medical treatment. Actually, I had this done to me. The phrase "don't expect much change" means. So say, for example, you buy an ice cream and it costs $2. So previously here means healthy, but just to make you look nicer, I guess, would be a good word. Irreversible